Alright lads, welcome to the round 20 review for AFL Fantasy. We scored really well this week. We scored 24-32, so I'm really happy with that effort from my boys. Round 20 rank is 753, so it looks pretty good, although we did slide down one spot, so we're now ranked 7th overall, which isn't great because we were probably looking to push 2 or 3 spots this week and then bounce the next couple of weeks. But that's still fine, it's only one spot. And yeah. 2,432 looks really good, although we did slide down that one spot. As for trades, we ended up going Zorko in, Honey in for Newcomb and Pendlebury out. It was either Zorko or Grundy. I tossed and turned between those two players. In the end, we went Zorko mainly because of his run coming up. But it doesn't really matter because this week we're getting in Grundy, so it didn't really matter in the end, although Zorko did outscore Grundy about 3 points, I think, so probably the right call in the end, and I'm happy that I made it. But as far as my team goes, Laird was solid, 104, nothing too special from him. Crisp has been in some really good form lately, he's got a 125, so that's good. Whitfield was a bit off, he scored 80, but a lot of the GWS boys failed to score that game, so we'll let it slide. And Salem has been a pretty bad pickup. Brought him in as a POD and he's failed miserably. He's gone 80 and back-to-back 60s now, so he's really costing me. We'll give him one more week. Has a good matchup against the Eagles this week. We saw what Collingwood did to them, so hopefully he can rack up a lot of marks and get a lot of the pill. But we'll give him one more week. If he doesn't perform, we'll trade. But like I said, yeah, he hasn't been a great pod for us, and he's really cost us a lot of points. Stewart has been sensational all year, so he backs it up with another 111. So as consistent as you like, and Lloyd was solid with the 97. I'm happy with Lloyd scoring 90 for me each week. Bianco and Connolly on the bench were good. And then midfield, Mitchell as captain was amazing with the 256, so I'm really happy I captained him. I had the VC on Oliver, and we went Mitchell as captain, and I'm happy. Mitchell was really good, and he's been in some really good form, Tom Mitchell as well, so good option to captain this week again, and I think towards the last couple of games of the season he should be good to go. And then Walsh 108 was solid, nothing too special from him. Zach Merritt 142, good to see him bounce back, and he bounced back in style, kicked 2 goals, so he looked really good, probably one of the best on ground. Jack McRae was poor with 81. He's been a bit up and down the last couple of weeks, but let's hope he can, bounce back and score well. Mills, good to see him return to footy, and he's not lost anything. He's gone and dashed out a 152, so a lot of coaches probably traded him out, and that proves really costly because Callum Mills has scored a 152, so I'm really happy with that score from him. I held Whitfield and Mills, and in the end, they both rewarded me big time, so I'm happy with that. Oliver was standard, 110, nothing too special from him. Was looking really big, but then I think he copped a bit of attention from Swallow in the second half, so that slowed his scoring down a bit. And Adams was good to see his time on ground back up, so he scored a 115 and he looked great. Lockie Neal is a big concern. We're probably going to have to trade either him or Christian Salem next week. If Salem does score well, we'll probably have to trade Lockie Neal next week, but yeah, one of the two will probably end up trading. And then Sharp, glad I didn't field him, he scored a 34, so his break-even's pretty high now at the moment, and concerns whether he reaches that this week. And Conway's 57 was good. Rux, gone, standard stuff from him, nothing too special. Darcy still managed to score relatively well, even with Meek in the side, so he's managing to score well, although he has got a couple of tough games, I think West Coast and then another tough matchup after that. So he's also one that will probably be on the chopping block in the next couple of weeks. But Reeves also scored 85, so Reeves has been really good. He'll probably be our last rookie downgrade for the season. And then forwards, Hall 120 was great. Zorko 132. That final quarter was something. He was huge in that final quarter. I think he scored about 60 points, so was absolutely massive, and I'm glad. I was sort of regretting the decision bringing in Zorko over Grundy, but in the end, Zorko had a massive last quarter, and he has scored Grundy, which is good to see. And then Kelly 102 was good enough. I think he was the only player along with Haynes to turn up for the Giants, so it just shows how bad of a game the Giants played. And then DeGoey 125, good stuff from him. Zeeble was alright with the 89, although wanted a bit more from him, considering not many of the top coaches have him. And Bramble kind of cost us because we still have a rookie on field, and that's Bramble, and he scored a 52, which isn't great. Finlay McRae outscored him, so that was that. In the end, pretty solid week, like I said, 24-32, so I'm happy with that. As far as how we're going this week, what we're going to be doing is bringing in Grundy. I've looked at all the top coaches' teams. They've all got Brody Grundy in, so we need to get in Grundy. Because if Grundy does go 130, 140 plus, it's going to affect us a lot. So this week we go Sharp and Bramble out to Smith. I'm probably going to be chasing a 170k rookie that doesn't play, just because we need someone to loophole. And I'm not sure when Williams plays, so we'll wait and see. So Sharp to a 170k non-playing rookie, and Bramble to Grundy is what we're going to be doing, locked in. We're not going to be changing unless there is some injury news regarding any of these players. But those are the trades and what we're looking like at the moment. It gives us a full premium team, so our team is finally complete, which looks really nice. In terms of defense, Salem's probably the only vulnerable player back there. Midfield, probably Neil. We probably have to get rid of him. So we probably switch Mills to Salem and then trade out Salem and Neil the next 2 weeks. And then Darcy does have a tough run coming up, so we might trade him. So Salem, Neil, and Darcy are all on the chopping block. Hopefully, no injuries in the next couple of weeks, so we can actually, trade out these players. Because if there are injuries, it will affect us. But yeah, team's looking really good. Like I said, we don't have any rookies on the field at the moment. We're going to have to trade out Sharp and Bramble to get to Grundy this week. And next week, I know Bianco has a low break even, so we'll trade Bianco out to a 170k. And we can bring in any player we want. So I'm thinking at the moment we can go Jack Steele or Took Miller, one of the two. So we go Bianco out and we trade either Neil or Salem to Took Miller or Jack Steele, one of the two. And for the final week, the week after, we'll probably end up bringing in whoever we want, because we can trade out Ned Reeves to a 170k and get another upgrade. So this week we're just going to be getting in Brody Grundy, but next week we'll probably be bringing in either Miller or Steele, one of the two. And then the week after we'll probably be chasing a unique, just so we can get a bit of extra points. But cash generation wise, we can really get at anyone who we want, which is good to see. In terms of captaincy this week, Mitchell would probably be my captain, and VC Oliver. Oliver's been in some really good form lately. Plays the West Coast, who would give up a lot of points, so he could be really big. And Mitchell, I think, plays Collingwood, so he has a really good history against Collingwood, so he should be fine. So we'll probably VC Mitchell, Captain Oliver, if that doesn't go too well. But I'm pretty sure Mitchell should get 120 plus minimum against the Pies, so he should be fine. And that Monday night game will be interesting to see how well Oliver plays. But yeah, like I said, that's how our team is looking at the moment. Just highlighted a few favourites. So it's at the point of the season when you probably want to be looking at premium options. You probably don't want to be chasing mid prices. So if you're making a downgrade, probably go to a 170k player that has DPP, so you can probably switch them around if needed. And it doesn't really matter whether or not they play unless you really need bench cover. So chase 170k rookies that either play or don't play and have DPP status. And also chase premiums. You don't want to be chasing mid prices. So players like Steele, Miller, Petrarca, Lyons, and Brayshaw, as well as Fiorini if you're looking at him, are all really good options to bring in. They've all got a really high ceiling and they're all uber consistent. So I like the looks of all of those guys if you're looking for a premium midfielder to bring in. As well as far as defenders go, if you don't have any of the players I have, barring Salem, and Rich would probably be the other one, as well as Daniel, who's been in some good form. But mind you, Daniel is prone to that odd game. So I'd probably be chasing Daniel, Rich, Whitfield, Lloyd, Crisps, Laird, Mills if you don't have him, as well as Stewart. Those are probably the couple of defenders that I'll be chasing. Chara's also another one that's priced under the 700k that I really like the looks of. 663k, so he offers a lot of value. So if you don't really have the money, I think Chara's a decent option. And Marshall as well is pretty cheap, 637k. My only concern with him is when Paddy Ryder comes back, it might affect his scoring. Although he had a really good week, and I think that he should be fine as long as he plays that forward ruck split and not just full forward. So those are just a couple players that I've highlighted in terms of players that you want to be looking at to bring in. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.